9 for the Celtics. And a takeaway. Excellent defense by Boston. Oh, and now Curry gets it right back from half court. And it's good! A Curry moment in Boston.
So, we here, Warriors at Celtics, NBA Finals rematch once again, and I'm a few hours removed from watching the game. I rewatched some parts of it so I could be as unbiased as possibly can and as, calm as possibly can, because I was really pissed that we lost this game at first, but then after watching it again and after seeing the execution from us and everything about the game, I'm kinda at peace with it right now. I'm feeling actually pretty alright. We still gave this game away to Boston, I think, rather than Boston won it, but Boston took the advantage, took the chance, and they were really solid, especially in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Tatum, shout out to Horford, shout out to Jalen Brown, and Al Horford was the difference maker to me, I think, tonight. He was sensational. I think he was the biggest difference in the game. Jason Tatum was relentless, so shout out to him. Jalen Brown, even though his shot wasn't falling, he hit the big one to tie the game, and when they tied the game in OTA and we didn't win and Steph settled for that step back 3-pointer, I thought we were gonna lose since then. But hey, they gave it a good shot against the best team in the NBA right now. They gave it the best shot on the road, which they have not been able to do this season mostly. There were still some of the same issues, some mental lapses, just trouble of closing out in that fourth quarter, which has been our issue on the road the whole season a little bit. But I feel like this game is on Steph, and when the game is on your best player, I don't feel that badly, right? If it was just our bench was horrible and we just couldn't win no matter what, even if Steph dropped 40, our bench was too bad or something like that, it would be much worse if we lost due to role players than due to your star player, because your star player is gonna bring it most of the time, and especially Steph. I always will believe in Steph, so it's hard for me to actually be overly negative, rather a little optimistic. I like the change from Steve Kerr. I like that he went with the starting lineup, going even more small, because we have all been asking for a backup center or a trade for a center, but they don't even want to play big, right? They just want to play small no matter what. He started Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was really good, except for that mental lapse in that fourth quarter. Al Horford packed him a few times at the rim also, which was unfortunate. I kinda also felt like the whistle went their way a little bit more, but hey, they're at home and it makes sense. But some of the calls were outrageous, let me just say that. Steph, when he was in that corner, and Marcus Smart just flied at him and it was no call. We were up 4 at that point. If he got fouled, we would be up 7. Probably, most likely. At least 6, because Steph's not gonna miss more than 1 free throw, especially down the stretch, even though the way he was playing, who knows. But this is just pure speculation, right? But at the same time, I feel really fine after a few hours removed. I was pretty mad, for at least a little bit, right? But the Warriors, of course, got outscored in the paint, which makes sense, right? Because they were just small. Robert Williams used it to his advantage. He had 8 offensive rebounds or something, and Tatum had 19 rebounds tonight. I'm gonna check the, rebounding difference in a bit, but I'm gonna just talk about purely a little bit everything. The turnovers, we were solid pretty much the whole game until that fourth quarter, man. In that fourth quarter, Steph had some just dumb turnovers. There were just some stupid turnovers overall in that fourth quarter. And we should have won this game in that fourth quarter, right? But Steph sold, we were just not focused enough, and it was rough. It was a rough one, because it felt like the Warriors had this game in their control throughout the whole second half until 6 minutes left in that fourth quarter, I think. When Steph checked in and made stupid turnovers and Steve had to call a timeout for him, that was what made the game go left, right? And I still don't understand points of turnovers. It says Boston had 24, I guess, so they scored more from turnovers, which would make sense. It felt like it for sure. And we scored just 17 points in that fourth quarter, while we were unstoppable throughout the first 3 quarters. So that was a little rough. And in the overtime, I kind of felt we were gonna lose. We started off pretty solid. We were down just 1 with 2 minutes left in the overtime, but Klay didn't catch the ball cleanly after a great out-of-bounds play from Steve Kerr after a timeout, and then the Celtics stringed together a couple of threes with Tatum and Horford going back-to-back. Horford scored the first one, so I said it wrong, but hey, you get the point. We were down 7, and we still made it a game, and we still made a fake comeback, so we had a shot to tie it once again and go to another overtime, so I mean, there's a lot of things to take away from this game. I think more positives than not, considering the season. We fought really well offensively, and even though we got out-rebounded by, I mean, it's 16 rebound difference, we were still in the game. All starters had double digit. 4 of those people were plus 20 points, man. Wiggins had 20, Klay had 24, you got Jordan Poole with 24, and Steph with 29. But Steph wasn't great. Poole was... I thought he was fine, but when you look at the stats, he wasn't, especially effective. But I thought he played really solid. Klay was really good, but he was in foul trouble. That was a huge problem. He got fouled out pretty early in that overtime. And Wiggins was bad to start the game. Then he was really solid in the second half. And the bench, of course, did not score that much, but I thought they were still solid. Looney had 2 and 12 in 20 minutes, even though he came off the bench, right? So that's fine. We really liked Kuminga out there. I think if Kuminga is back and he's playing like he played before he got injured, I think this 9-man rotation is really good. Really, really solid. But we're gonna have to wait and see when he comes back. I'm praying it's after this Cavs game when we get back home against Brooklyn. And that would be the ideal game for him to come back. No KD still. The Nets are kinda in a free fall right now also. Good. But, I mean, it makes sense with no KD. And it would be just perfect game to come back to. We'll see what the Warriors do. Shout out to the Celtics. They were relentless. Malcolm Brogdon had 14, 7 and 2. He was 5 of 15, but his points fell so much more, right? He was just solid. And Marcus Smart was really good. He was hitting some shots that he shouldn't hit all the time, but he was really good, I felt like, today. And the bench was sensational overall. They gave them some really good minutes defensively. Even though they didn't shoot the ball well, I thought they just gave them a lot of stability there. And Robert Williams had 14 and 11 with 7 offensive rebounds. Al Horford 20 and 10 with 3 blocks. I think Al Horford was their player of the game, man. And of course Tatum had 34, 19, 6, 7 turnovers, 3 steals. But I felt like Al Horford was not the biggest difference, but just the reason they won the game tonight. Great matchup. It was some real high intensity there. It was just a great matchup, as it has been pretty much. And hopefully the Warriors can, get back and maybe we can see this finals again. We'll see, but a good game nonetheless.